We have work to do.
Even though most of the academia's restrictions have significantly relaxed, I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation. Kale, I'd only assign a job this important to someone I trust.
Oh no, I'm fine. I've completely recovered. If...
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by.
Oh, hey!
Ah, it's been a while. Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter... Also, you happen to know about this? It's complicated. You might have heard about her in Sume. Let's just say that she is. But she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident. Because of that, her current personality can be a bit...
I'm getting a headache.
She doesn't have bad intentions, so you don't have...
I'll try.
Yes, Ksharawar and Spontam... However, Faruzan isn't influenced by modern thinking. It's already past our arranged meeting time, but she still hasn't... I don't think so. With her personality, it's more likely that she... Anyway, can you go with Kale to the academia?
Thank goodness.
I'm counting on you too. Kale, don't push your... Our task is important, but not that urgent. If Faruzan really... After all, if she's distracted by other things, it'll...
All right, let's... Sorry, what did you say? Oh, could you...
Faruzan, I said that you need to give us an...
Yes. And did you forget...
Your hearing is perfect... Madam Faruzan, isn't this rather problematic as an advisor?
And who, if I may ask, complained? If they have any issue with me, You don't have to tell me anything. I very well know that it's those people...
But, Madam Faruzan, it has been a long while...
Academic contribution cannot simply be divided. In any case, it makes no sense to use a metric like this to evaluate a mentor.
Wait! Madam Faruzan...
That's her, all right. But the person with her Shh! She hates it when... Her body apparently stopped aging during the year she was gone. Okay.
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Ksharawar would like... They're wondering if you'd be interested.
Ah, Kale! Why are you here? I'm much better, Madam Faruzan. Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing some eye bags. No, it's because I'm a slow... It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your health. There's... Ah! And is the person beside you the... Oh! I've heard much about you before. It is thanks to you, after all, that the academia is finally getting... I'd wager it's those Ksharawar dunderheads finding excuses so that I'd go to the...
If you're this unwilling to participate in... It might be difficult to teach a course with topics that only fall within Haravatats. You can teach a course or participate in a collaborative project. If you don't do either...
Could you not give me a few more days to consider? This matter
That's precisely the issue. If you don't give an answer today...
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tainari's behest, I take it. I'm sorry. Of course. I shall need... What now? Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something up. I feel for Madame Faruzan, but if I get her in trouble with the academia, then she won't have the time to help me. Yeah, that would be the best for them both. I'll check with Matt, but I'm sure he'll say, the best thing you can do now... Huh? Oh, yes! This way she can get her... So, if I also stay and help... Okay, then. I'm counting on you. Huh. I have to teach students from Haravatat, or Okashar... We're back, Madame Faruzan. The Traveler said that she can stay... Oh! Why, I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person... Is that so? Good. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or join the collaborative project that...
You might have heard of it before. Haravatat is an academic faction that researches language...
Now, not was.
Yes, of course. but current Haravatat students can't really...
In summary, I mean to interpret the configurations and solutions of ruin mechanisms via the deciphering of on-site stone carved.
The research method is supported by Haravatat, yes, but the content deals heavily with both ruins and mechanism. Also, there are fewer and fewer unexplored ruins left nowadays, and Ksharawar researchers have...
They're far too complacent. Ancient mechanisms, I'm telling you, things weren't like this 100 years ago. All researchers back then were interested in Nowadays, all people are interested in are mainstream subjects in popular research. Also, the people here think that my research is outdated and unreal. Why, I think they could all stand to learn from Kale. She's a hard worker. Huh? Why? If only those who came to my lectures were... Speaking of which, are you feeling better? I just remembered that I have a lot of... Are you telling me to start a reading course for...
Wait. Although Tainari has academic dealings with the academia...
No, she's right. The old academia... There must surely be many people like Kale and Sumeru who are passionate about... The old academia paid no heed to them. But if I start a reading course for Kale...
I'll need to go...
Oh, save yourself the extra trouble. I'll come with you. If there's any traveler, Kale, do wait for us a little while. Wait! I can't believe she rushed right in after we arrived. No, not really. Madame Faruzan is a brilliant scholar, even master. It's just that she can get a bit too passionate. Maybe it's because she wants to take me in a... It's just like that researcher said. The academia has... I don't really get it. But it does seem like Harab students who are interested in mechanisms and applications of the... Madame Faruzan also refuses to accept random students just to make up numbers. But she seems to like my attitude toward learning. It's because I'm a slow learner that I have no choice but to stay up late. It's not that. Madame Faruzan respects my choices. She sometimes brings food to Gandharvaville for me. Now that you mention it... Kale, traveler, thank you for waiting. I argued with the higher-ups and convinced them of their practicality and necessity. If I'm not mistaken, they're the students of my classmates' students. Amazing. It's just that we need to fill in every single page of the application. Let's see now. What do we need to fill in? That's a bit too general, I'd say. After all, this class's target audience isn't as such. We'll need a more specific learning objective. That's true. If we use children's teaching materials, we're only... And you have your job as a forest ranger, Kale. People who attend this course in the future are also... Master always tells me that practice is the best way to learn. It must have been difficult to get books in Sumeru in recent years, no? Expanding literacy is a capital notion. Now that the academia is easing restrictions on the circulation of books... So that's next on the list. Fair. Kale... Me? I've been reading light novels from Inazuma. I heard that ever since we were allowed to sell books in light novels. This is my first time hearing about such a thing, but I wait for us, Madame Faruzan! You wouldn't think someone as fast as her is over 100. Let's pick up the pace and catch up to her! What a long and mildly ungrammatical time.
Is this your first time seeing a light novel, ma'am? Oh, they're the most popular of books now.
Fine. One shouldn't judge a book.
Of course. Why don't you try this one? It's Outlander Brigade.
I heard that this book's author described... Now, I've only skimmed through a few pages, but it feels... Subject? The protagonist just ends up fighting in every scene with no proper build-up. Will anyone...
How about... the good thing about being...
A reincarnation isekai story? Isekai? What in the world is that? Tropes? Those fictional rules used to... Sorry. However, this book doesn't explain how reincarnation correlates to becoming stronger. Such an illogical...
How about this?
Oh! That's the latest volume of... Now that's a rather normal title length. Yes, but... Madam? Are you going... Let me see. The dialogue... Third Eye of Perception. Illusory. I also thought those names were strange. It's impossible to derive the meaning of these phrases in isolation. Also, or did the protagonist purposely create these strange names so there's no deeper purpose? Huh. You're right. It's such a weird book. Even the most popular book in Sumeru back... Yes! A Bahumano researcher wrote the plot had many twists. The world building was fantastic, and even the sages back then all described the story as a timeless classic.
Is there a book like that in Sumeru? I've never heard of...
It's called Tales of Shariar.
Tales of Shariar?
About 100 years ago.
100 years ago? Are you pulling my...
The legend of Antara is popular to this very day, isn't it? If an old story like that is still being shared, then Tales of...
Even if that is the case, I really don't care...
What? Is that because... I can't believe they've allowed the people of Sumeru to become so uncivilized.
Tales of Shariar. I mean, it is a book from 100 years ago.
Tales of Shariar is considered an antique now? How could the Academia have Traveler, Kale? I'm going to get to the bottom of... Madam, wait! Oh no. You asked me why I'm scared of Madame Faruzan. It's because... I'm afraid of that ancient language she researches. Even so, what if researchers from 100 years ago... Found it! The fifth... Wow! You act...
I never thought this book would ever get...
All right. That's our teaching material secured. We also now know what to call this course. Can I take a look? Luckily the language As long as the writing is good, readers won't need any illustration. Worry not. I shall thoroughly explain the difficult sections. After all this time. I wonder... Sir, do you have the subsequent volume?
I don't think...
Is that so? And here I thought I could finally read the end. If I'm to use it as a teaching material, it's better to start earlier in the series.
I don't have...
Is this series really that popular?
No. It's not popular at all.
No demand? Impossible. Back then,
Seriously? No one told me that this book...
Where did you get this from? Can you still
I'm afraid not. This book was sold together with a whole bunch of antique Otherwise, the Matra would have come knocking.
That's impossible. No matter how strict the Academia was...
I do remember a passerby skimming through the book a few...
He sighed? Why would he react like that? I'm sorry. Traveler, Kale, please give me a... Why is there another misunderstanding between Ali and Aziz? And a new character is introduced with no foreshadowing at all? Is this really the Tales of Shari?
Well, that passerby reacted in mud. It's Mada from the cafe over there. You know, since that's also a very old story, maybe he knows a thing or...
Then let's go ask around at the cafe. Huh? Excuse me? But...
Yes! Are you...
well... sorry.
It's fine. I'm used to it more.
Do you know about Tales of Shariar?
Huh? Tales of Shari? My master always talked about how incredibly popular that book used to be. However...
Your master?
Yes, the one who taught me how to be a storyteller. He also said that this great-great-grandmaster was he wrote 4 volumes back then, and the reviews just got better.
And then? What happened next? What?
Oh, it's hard to tell when it comes to trends. One day everyone, instead of writing a proper ending, to tap into popular trends, he added a lot of...
How could that be? Then what happened to...
In the end, there's no ending. The great-great-grandmaster tried to write a few... He got so infuriated that he stopped...
What? So there's no ending?
By that time, only... Anyway, my master probably The only tangible thing my great-great-grandmaster... He also left behind many theses from his research phase. my master is a much better storyteller than me. But even he won't recite tales of Shahryar due to—
So, Antara's story is the one that...
Well, not even sages can definitively ascertain the quality of—
Only time? Madame Faruzan? It's been 100 years. Yeah! Master helped me find a lot of famous... No matter how good those stories are, I can't improve my skills. Huh. That is true. Readers' interest in trends of a time. What was popular 100 years ago could be completely forgotten in modern times. And yet, if Tales of Shahryar hadn't chased after trends and instead stuck to its originals, it might have stood some chance of gaining renewed popularity. No. Huh? Hard conversation.
I don't really get what you're talking about.
How unseemly. I almost got carried away because of a single book. Well then, no. It's Kale, you found a book that you liked at the book. Yes, then we'll use that book as our teaching material. Now that I think about it, as for the academia, as long as we come up with an appropriate... It sounds like you've dealt with the academia. Now then, let's return to the book vendor in a bit and buy the... But if I wish to use it at... Speaking of which, other than third eye of perception and illusory mirror, such things as... Even if it reminds me of my dark history, why do people use dark history to refer to awkward or embarrassing memories? If one of our learning objectives was researching linguistic changes over the past 100 years...
Oh, I can tell you what that's all about. Apparently, in their youth, some people used to... But as they grew older, they started to become embarrassed by such memories.
Mata? You know, Huh? Why so suddenly?
I knew it. There will always be people who love the gold...
What now? Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something. I feel for Madame Faruzan, but if I get her in trouble with the academia, then she won't have the time to help. But if someone does complain to the academia, and if the academia investigated and found her at do you have some way to invite her over to parties? Okay then. I have to teach students from Haravatat or Okashar. Madame Faruzan, we're back. Sorry for asking. Well, since you're asking me so...
Please, Madame Faruzan, focus. Huh?
Yes. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Yeah, that's right.
Wait. Opportunities for collaborative research. Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame Faruzan's research.
A fully automated irrigation.
A fully automated irrigation.
Precisely. It's a system that can automatically adjust the... I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a ruin in the rainforest.
A mechanism like that exists?
I found it 100 years ago, so it's only natural that...
But we can't prove its existence.
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official proposal.
An official proposal. Fine, I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do...
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him until he... Phew. Even though this is our first meeting, Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Who knows? It's been 100 years, so... I'll let Tainari worry about whatever document... If I'm right, the request he has in store for me will... Master! We're back!
You don't have to shout. Well, You got here much faster than I expected.
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to,
On to others?
we can discuss that later. You're looking for—
That's right. Please.
a monster?
Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form, the trap. It's the final work of a late junior.
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to— It's uncommon that a Spongemod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. Something seems wrong here.
Karkata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some path. My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further, but
Not necessarily. Mechanical life forms are created— There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic— Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understand— Can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space.
all right. We're counting. We'll wait here till Faruzan finishes her inspection. Her past, huh? Quite a few. I've told you before that she disappeared for 100 years, right? Her exact words.
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from— I did all I could to— I lost track of— Then, before I realized— After that, my memory started to—
She doesn't remember anything else, including the location. When she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago, she looked exactly the same as she did 100 years. The Academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in an unknown, and because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to. Though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. In the end, even the Academia had to rely on. Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, even after going through so much, she's returned to due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects. She holds some rather. What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, she has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance.
Master! Madam
Oh? Let's head over. With any luck, she.
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once again after 100 years. If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before.
It used them for something else, but as far as
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Karkata's issue, Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the creators of the Ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual. The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. Once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself. And even the function of— Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Based on my current research, I'll need to swap out the damaged parts in the— But like I just said, the module is rare. Even by the standards of ancient machines, finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the vast desert. One can only wonder where—
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time,
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert? But the desert's huge! How are we supposed— According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the Great Red Sand over the past 100 years.
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorm.
Should we ask them if they've made any new discoveries lately? The chances are slim, but it's at least more—
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the hypostyle.
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Karkata's condition may be stable. Besides, you still need to take care of the trouble.
Trouble from the Academia? I thought you.
I'll let Kale fill you in on the details. is this?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed. That still won't do. Mr. Raid told us to keep people away.
Damage the site? I've excavated more ruins than—
He isn't at the campsite now. You should all leave.
What a stubborn guy. You're right. Even if there is new information, we still have to wait. I'm going to give that Raid a good talking to when he—
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required.
That machine looks amazing. The location seems to fit too.
The ruins. Don't know anything. Forget excavation. They won't even let us get close.
This area used to be ravaged by frequent sandstorms. They say that this was done by a single traveler?
Well, I found out everything I could. Is there— Ruin Wanderer? That's the first time I've— It's a bit far away, and I can't really say for sure.
Huh? What are you guys doing back here? I wouldn't blame you for not knowing about it, youngs. It's said that this monster, the Ruin Wanderer, traversed through various ruins. Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a— Then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing any news about it, and you youngsters probably don't know about the Ruin Wanderer nowadays.
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then.
Wait. Back?
Indulge my curiosity for a moment. What?
Well, I had also heard that
You heard that nonsense from the Eremites after they—
Who are—
Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure. I'd heard of you at the Academia, but I didn't— And this must be the famous traveler—
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you've—
I'm ashamed to say that we haven't found anything
Really? That Ruin Wanderer—
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. Really, I sometimes— The wise do not buy into rumors, so it is said.
It is also said that real knowledge shall come from practice. I can help you research. You can take credit for any new discoveries. I believe—
In truth, I could ask. However, you two must be tired after. It's getting late, and my subordinates and I are heading back to the camp to rest. There's a tent that the villagers occasionally use to rest. It's a bit—
Since you need to rest as well, let's— This is quite far away. Now, I have my suspicions about this archaeological expedition team, but based on the condition of the armor and joints, it didn't seem like something that had been lying around for centuries. Yes, the timing coincides with the spreading of the legend. How do you suppose it was able to maintain a relatively good condition? That's right. Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. Well, this was over 100 years ago. It was a machine about the same size as Karkata. It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which is honestly, people in ancient times might have already solved the problem of providing enough power for— Had I confronted Raid right there and then, he would have said that he couldn't tell that the machine was special. Then if the wreckage were to be handed to the Academia, it'd be much tougher for us— Anyway, we should figure out what they're planning. They insisted that we should stay the night, which means if they're trying to pull a fast one on us— Are those sounds coming from the excavation site? I knew they wouldn't be— Not a single person guarding the campsite. I'll see if they left any clues behind at their camp. Keep watch and help me— All right. I'm counting.
Why isn't the tent here yet?
It's still on the way. I'm afraid this is the first...
You good-for-nothings are just a load of trouble, aren't you? We hurry up and hide our current tent and...
Huh? Who's there?
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset. It's nothing. Just a tent. We didn't pack up all our tents. Someone damaged our current tent, so I'm trying to get my The relics in the ruins are highly valuable, so I'm worried that treasure hoarders and... Well, these things are antiques after all. There will always... Speaking of which, I'd like to ask, is the Academia really... Also, where's Faruzan?
I'm right here. Also, you forgot to address me as Madam.
Sorry, Madam Faruzan.
You were all making so much noise that I couldn't sleep, which is why I got the Traveler to find out what was going on.
I'm very sorry for disturbing you.
Good. Come on, Traveler. Yes, we came to check out the situation, didn't we? We should get better rest so that we'll have energy to investigate tomorrow. Thanks for dealing with them. Now, I found something good on my end. According to them, the ruins have been raided before, with numerous... I also observed the wreckage up close earlier. The weathering is nowhere near as... There's no doubt that the wreckage in the ruins don't belong to the same era. It could have fallen into a trap or encountered a glitch within the ruins. However, I still don't know why they'd want to hide it. The last few pages of the excavation records are written in code, which... it's just wordplay.
Help! Please help! Why are you running away?
What's that sound? The Ruin Wanderer? That's impossible! Is this the work of some kind of hidden mechanism? No. What? It ignored...
Why is it chasing after us?
What could have caused it to reactivate?
Darn it! Hey, come on, you lot! It's clear that we...
It's stuck.
Hey, you guys, get up there.
But what if it suddenly moves?
You good-for-nothings. Looks like this thing's parts can't handle the... When it first reactivated, I was wondering if it'd be as amazing as the...
Disappointing, you say? Now, is that because...
Faruzan, you may be my senior...
You wrote these excavation records, did you not? Or perhaps... January 5th. January 10th. One special tent pre-sold. You're supposed to be an archaeological expedition team, and yet here you... When you believed that you had found the wreckage of the Ruin Wanderer, you tried to switch in wreckage that you had... After all, there would probably be many wealthy buyers interested in purchasing the legendary Ruin Wanderer. That forced you to speed up your plan, and you tried to complete the switch overnight before I could investigate the wreckage. In your haste...
I don't know what...
You lack the curiosity befitting a man of knowledge, nor do you have respect...
Ridiculous curiosity.
Mr. Aid! Behind you? Why is it moving again? Run!
Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast.
Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then.
Why is it chasing after us?
So you've been looking for me this whole time? Long time no see to me.
Dear Faruzan, it has been over 20 years since you went missing. People from the but somehow, I feel like you're still up. You've always been persistent. able to shine no matter what situation you face. Unfortunately, I likely won't be able to welcome you home when you do. Only Tamimi is still the same as before. Your teacher and friends came up with an idea to remodel. You didn't like coming home back then and would always get Tamimi to send a letter back. I don't know the answer to that question, but if you ever read this, I regret not being able to say this to you myself.
Welcome home, Faruzan. Look at you, Tamimi. You've changed so... I've safely received the letters. Tamimi, the mechanical life form I encountered back then, when I met with that accident, it was on the way to deliver a letter. I didn't expect my teacher and others to remodel its self-repair function, and so, in order to plumb the depths of unknown ruins and overcome dangerous traps, Tamimi, which used to be incapable of even moving, also it could deliver these last letters from them to... The strain to support such a huge body must have turned out to be... Even after the remodeling, its restitution module still can't function perfectly and just like a living being. Mechanical life forms have a limited lifespan. It most likely only reactivated because it detected my presence. And then it... Tainari told you what happened to me. You don't have to apologize. It's not... Besides, I've always treated it as a failed experiment. However, finding out that so many people were affected by my... Can you head back to Pardis Di first? We've been here for... As for me, I want to stay with Tim...
The rain won't slow me down.
You're back!
How was your journey through the desert?
Oh no. She finally got to...
As a researcher, she could perhaps accept it. We should give her some time. And in the future, I hope that we can...
I'm back! What?
We've all been waiting for you, Madame Farr.
That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert. Switch these out with the ones Karkata is using right now, and it'll be back in ship shape. Huh? Why do you all look so soft, Madame Faruzan? Did... Come now. I thought that you must have encountered some major problem. Well, it looks like you already know everything. But no need to feel bad. Tamimi had been operating beyond capacity for a century, and I'm unable to repair it with my current ability. As a senior, it is only right that I do something for the people who come after me. Besides, I didn't say that I would be giving you these parts for free. They will only be used for I'll be sure to revive Tamimi once I've fully deciphered and replicated the...
All right. I'll do my best.
Me too! Although, I'm not... Thank you. If they could remodel Tamimi successfully even back... And when that day comes, welcome home, Tamimi.
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.
What now? Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something up. I feel for Madame Faruzan, but if I get her in trouble with the academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. Yeah, that would be the best for them both. I'll check with But I'm sure he'll say, the best thing you can do now. Huh? Oh yes, this way she can get her... So if I also stay and help, okay then. I have to teach students from Haravatat, or Okash... We're back, Madame Faruzan. The Traveler said that she can stay. Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person. Is that so? Good. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat or join the collaborative project? I don't know if Tainari's told you about this before, but while my research involves I don't belong to Kasharawar, which specializes in
She has been invited to Kasharawar multiple times to
Just listen to how they introduce themselves. In the future, Kasharawar will be the only Darshan with the ability. Besides, the current Kasharawar is more concerned about how mechanisms can be used in if they're trying to use the collaborative project as an excuse to—
No, that's not it. The representative of Kasharawar recommended you to them, Madame Faruzan.
Oh, putting aside my ideological differences with Kasharawar, I suppose Yeah, Akara Crafts.
In summary, Akara Crafts wants to design a series of early learning The academia agreed to work with them because they hope that these toys can help.
True. The current academia is in need of some new blood. If the children's— Madame Faruzan, you still have—
Anise, Kasharawar's representative, should be staying in the inn at Port
Ormos? Now there's a place I haven't been to in a long— I probably can't join you since Port Ormos is a little far from here. No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done with Thank you. Why, I'd even call this a rare chance.
Madame Faruzan! Oh.
All right, calm down. Let me be clear. After all, you're here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration. The reputation of—
Either way, it's— Now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days.
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how—
If you join the Kasharawar, your budget will be—
That's enough! I will not repeat myself!
All right. He's usually at the slope up ahead recruiting Mamdu, the one I recommend—
Oh, so you're—
Yes, that's—
Oh, wonderful. We haven't been able— We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anise thought that those ideas—
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train future researchers after all.
But if they're too complicated, not only will they be expensive to produce considering our—
So the design can't be too complicated.
I remember that in your notes. Many contraptions have managed to fulfill complex functions.
The contraptions in my notes? I didn't create them, but now that you mention it, the ruins did have things like that.
You have an idea already? I suppose I should have expected as much of a— Oh, you're done already?
Let me explain. These three thick these paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes.
Well, that is easier to make than I expected.
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the—
Isn't this a little too simple?
Of course. When moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. It's like building a tower. The rings and the three poles must be stacked.
Pagodas.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel—
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anise that you find ball—
It's such a simple toy.
Mamdu, let's just do—
And that's how you play this game. You can all give it a try. Let's see who's it.
You called everyone here for such— It doesn't look like it'll take that—
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Mamdu test out the new toys.
Ugh, fine. Let's get this over and—
Done. It took—
Huh? It took—
Not bad. Looks like you're all familiar. Then let's increase the difficulty. The next
Wait, Well, since we're already here, why don't we...
An extra layer shouldn't make it that much hard.
What's going on? I've already moved over a third...
I'm almost done. Done! It took me...
What?
This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to...
Good. We'll try it one final time. Momdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips here.
Do you need that many steps for something this?
Madam Faruzan, allow me...
You were looking at it quite seriously just now. Are you... If you want to test out your hypothesis, you'll just have...
Got it.
We don't have enough paper strips left for you, Traveler. Why don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is? Oh. Color me impressed. Let's see how well they do then.
If I move this small ring, then the big one...
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken.
This got a lot harder.
I solved it.
That many? But there are only 7 layers.
For every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes
more accurately, it will require double the steps, plus 1 each time. You did. The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that...
I see. So even a simple toy can become
That's right. The rules used for pagoda stack are the simplest I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do something Once that happens, you can give the volunteers the reference book and paper prototype.
Do you have any... Yeah! When can we play...
In about 2 days or so, I think. On me.
Of course!
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. Then we can organize a... You'd be most welcome. We need more people to get it.
Thank you for coming here with me today. I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. You want to ask why I'm unwilling to join, putting aside the fact that they're too full of themselves. I actually have no issue with... After all, knowledge is either right or wrong. Superiority and inferiority, no matter what corner of the unknown they shed light on. It's a step because I believe wholeheartedly in that even if the others call my research useless, as long as the knowledge, in the end, useful and useless are concepts that when I first started deciphering ancient documents, that's why there's no need for me to join them to do useful research. I'd rather stay in her... Still, perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat. Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anis's help, 2 days will be enough. You're right. Explanations are... By using detailed and accurate illustrations, we can impart knowledge more effective. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into it.
Oh, you're here.
We've called up everyone we possibly could have.
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. To sum up, the 24 forms of pressure-based... All right, let's go to the next page. Now...
Are we done?
I don't understand it.
Are these really toys?
They sound a bit too dangerous.
Oh.
Well, we've prepared paper prototypes for everyone. If you're...
Oh, this is no fun.
I want to go home and play Genius.
Forget it. I don't think any.
I should go home and take care of my children.
How did this happen?
I'm sorry. I think we miscalculated.
No, you simply gave suggestions. I will find a way to make up for this error. Please.
Excuse me, but are you the one who wrote?
Ah, you're that man Mount.
Do I stand out that much? Well, let me introduce myself. I'm Kamo.
What's the branch master doing here?
I came to Port Ormos to visit some old friends. On the way over, can you print a few more copies of this booklet and sell them to the Adventurers Guild?
What does the Adventurers Guild want with...
You may see them as toys, but to adventurers who need to deal with all sorts of... We have many members who can't read, so books are of little use to them. Even if the Academia granted public access...
Ah, and our booklet is practically...
Well...
It might be a bit too difficult for children, but it's perfect for if you can make wooden versions for demonstration purposes, if we can supply a model set for each branch, and if each...
You really think so? I mean, yes.
Making models of contraptions for the Adventurers Guild?
We'll probably have to send in a separate application. After all, this concerns safety during the exploration of ruins.
Then let's cut to the chase and discuss the details of our first order. This.
Delicious food, freshly made and served. I think a creepy crawly got into the cooking pot.
I'll be going then. Say hi to Tiny Anise. We haven't had much time. She's able to calmly figure out the basic principles behind some... I'll do my best to teach her over the next few days. Still, well, her interest lies in the application. I do have some old knowledge to share. But if we think about the future, my research into mechanisms is, in a sense, if she becomes my student to learn how to make modern contraptions. However, if she develops an interest in deciphering ancient... If I successfully poach a student, those young punks that perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat. Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. What? You're right. If no one understands the reference book, it's better to make it simpler and fun so that children will be interested in the subject. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account.
Oh, you're here. We're just starting.
We've called up everyone we possibly could have.
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. And if we activate this little mechanism, a Sumeru rose will appear at the top.
Oh, I thought it came out of thin air!
If the mechanism was bigger,
then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with a hat?
You're applying what you learned creatively. Let's look at the next page. If you fold an...
Whoa, you can make a mechanism?
The principles at play are even more...
These are pretty cool.
I'm not that interested in toys, but...
Everyone, we have paper prototypes and craft materials that you can use.
This is such a well-prepared event.
But we want to play...
It's fine. We have a lot of paper prototype.
Oh, Professor Faruzan?
Just course, madam, will do. You may wish to pay attention to these few details.
Wow! It really... Madam Faruzan, will we learn more?
Of course you will. If you become a researcher, in the future if you want, you can even become one.
But Mom and Dad said that there are 6 Darshan. Which Darshan teaches about mech?
Well, and
I know. We need to choose Kashara.
Huh?
I want to attend Kashara War in the future and fold I want to make even more.
Actually, the other Darshans do have their own specialties too. How did this happen?
What if we end up in a Darshan we don't like?
No, that won't happen. Take me, the only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher. It's all right. You still have... Let me tell you a story about pressure-based mechanism.
Onwards. We have work.
You're back!
How was your journey through the desert? So Madame Faruzan has some other things to settle. All right.
Madame Faruzan will be able to repair Karkata when she... I'm back! What, Madame Faruzan? That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert.
So this is a relic of an ancient civilization?
Unscrupulous, huh? Is that so? It's nothing. I've already given all the evidence we have against Raid to the Academia. I'll start repairing Karkata then. Of course! Thank you for keeping Tamimi a secret. If I tell them about Tamimi, will they still feel happy for Karkata? I don't want my past to affect people in the present. It's fine. I'm used to it. I once believed that I'd never hear from my old friends and family ever again. However, I could remember them clearly again after reading the letter to me. I'd be disappointing them if I let myself fall into a slump because of this. Besides, you're lending a listening ear to... Oh... Pardius Di look... Once Karkata's condition stabilizes, I'll find a chance. But for now, just help me keep the thank you. Well, I suppose I should consider myself quite fortunate. The only time when I felt otherwise was when I had just returned to Sumeru. No one came to check up on me then. Yeah, I'm home.